Today we're going to be looking at the history of Bowser plushes starting off in the early 1990s all the way up to now. Now obviously every single Bowser plush will not be in this video as there's way too many to fit all in one video, but we're kind of going to go over the main ones. So yeah, starting off in 1991 we have the first ever Bowser plush. Now this Bowser plush has a lot of details that can actually get damaged on it, so I'm going to be going over those first. Probably the most damageable detail on this plush are the nose pieces, as well they're really small pieces of felt and the glue on them basically fail over the years. As well, 9 times out of 10 when you see this plush for sale, it'll be missing the nose pieces, as well they just kind of fall off over the years, as it seems that the glue that they used was just pretty bad. The cuffs on Bowser's arms could also fall off over the years and get damaged because, once again, they're made out of felt material and they weren't put on the best. There also is iron-on material on the cuffs, so that could also get damaged pretty easily. The eyes on this plush could also fall off, as once again, they're made out of felt. So yeah, basically a lot of details on this plush that could get damaged. It's kind of a shame that a lot of details on this plush could get damaged because, well, it overall looks really nice if it has all the details and if it's in mint condition. But sadly, most of the time when you see this plush, it will not be in mint condition. You probably won't be able to get a plush with all the mint condition parts. If you do find a mint condition one, it will be extremely expensive. The shell on the back of this plush is made out of like a plastic material, so it could get really easily cracked, and it's basically impossible to keep it in mint condition unless if you put it in a case and never touch it. So yeah, overall this is a really nice plush when in mint condition, but there's a lot of parts that could fall off, and it overall makes the plush look pretty bad if a lot of parts fall off. Moving on, we have the Mario Kart Bowser plush. This is probably one of the most unique early Bowser plushes, as well as the only Bowser plush to ever be featured in a Mario Kart set. The eyes on this plush could actually get really easily damaged, and it's very hard to find a mint condition plush with the eyes still on it because it's made out of an iron-on material, so it could get very easily damaged. And most of the time when you see this plush for sale, the eyes will usually be a bit cracked. But besides that, the rest of the plush overall looks really good, and it actually can't really get that damaged besides for details like the teeth. Bowser is obviously missing his shell because he's sitting down in a seat, so you can't really make the shell on this plush. So that's one detail that is missing on this plush, but I kind of understand it as well, but it'd be very hard to make a shell on a plush that's sitting down. The card on this plush is a green color, except it could get chipped over the years, so yeah, it could actually turn into being a different color if it gets chipped enough. The card actually rolls on this plush, so it's overall a really cool plush, except I would kind of be careful with the card as well, because it could get very easily damaged as it's a very old and it's also made out of plastic. And just like the last plush, it'll be pretty hard to find in mint condition, and it'll be very expensive if you do find it in mint condition. Next up we have the Yoshi Safari Bowser plush, and this one actually looks really good in my opinion. It uses basically the exact same eyes as the last Bowser plush, which makes sense as well, but it was made in basically the same exact year as the last one. It was also made by the same exact company. So once again, the eyes on this plush could get very easily cracked, and besides that, there's not a lot of details that could get damaged besides like the shell on this plush. Because just like the first ever Bowser plush, the shell's made out of this very weak plastic material, and this one's actually even weaker than the original. So yeah, if you do get this plush, it'll most likely be missing pieces or the shell will be cracked on it. But yeah, besides those details being very easily damageable, it actually looks to be pretty good. I do actually like the fuzzy hair on the top of the plush as well, but it's a lot more unique than other Bowser plushes as well. I'm pretty sure this is one of, if not the only Bowser plush that uses hair like that. And if you want this plush, it'll be very expensive as it's part of a very obscure set. Moving on to Super Mario 64 plushes, we have the Banpresto Bowser. Now this Bowser plush overall looks really good in my opinion, as well most details on it are extremely accurate to the game, and they overall look really nice. But there are a few details on this plush that could get damaged, like the cuffs on the arms as well. Just like the original Banpresto Bowser, they could actually fall off over the years. They also have iron-on material on them, so yeah, they could get cracked pretty easily, but besides that, the rest of the plush overall looks pretty good. The Bowser plush has basically every single detail that's necessary on it. I do like all the lines next to like the cheeks and stuff to add extra definition to it. The only really bad detail about this plush is that it's just overall very small. As the Bowser plush is basically the exact same size as the Mario plush. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense why Bowser is this small, but besides that, the rest of the plush is overall very accurate. The shell on the back of it's overall pretty simplistic as well. The spikes on it are made out of a felt material, but besides that, the rest of the plush overall looks really nice. And even though the shell doesn't have a lot of detail on it, it still overall looks pretty good. If you want this plush, it'll cost you a ton of money as well as part of the Super Mario 64 plush set, which is overall extremely expensive. And well, moving on, we have the BDNA Bowser plush, which is basically just kind of a lower quality version of the one that we just looked at. Now this plush is basically an exact copy of the Banpresto one, and well, this one was only released a year later in America instead of just Japan like the original Banpresto one did. And well, everything about this plush is basically just a lower quality version of the last one. As well, one prime example of this is that it's actually missing the cuffs on the arms. Because, well, for some reason, they decided to get rid of the cuffs on the arms for some reason. I don't really understand why they did that, but for some reason they did. And also, this plush is mostly stuffed with beans instead of actual plush material. So yeah, it makes for the plush looking really floppy over the years and making it look pretty bad. There's also a lot of details on this plush that could get damaged, like the eyes, because they're made out of an iron-on material, unlike the Banpresto one. But if you just look at the BDNA one, then look at the Banpresto one, you could obviously see that the Banpresto one had a lot more work and a lot more effort put into it. As well, the BDNA one was overall very cheaply made compared to Banpresto, so yeah, it overall just looks a lot worse. There's also a few other versions like the keychain version, which is basically the exact same plush except just smaller. There's also a big size, and there's also a big size talking version. And well, one thing very interesting about the talking version of this plush is that it actually has the cuffs on the arms, which is the only Bowser plush made by BDNA that has cuffs on the arms. So yeah, it's overall very strange that they only put cuffs on this one Bowser plush. And yeah, for the rarity of these plushes, the normal Bowser plush is very common. The keychain one's somewhat hard to find, it'll cost a little bit more money, and the big size and the talking version cost a lot of money and they're extremely rare. And well, moving on to 1999, we have the Mario Party Bowser plush. Now, just like other Banpresto plushes that we looked at, this one has a lot of details that could get damaged. But even though there are a lot of details that could get damaged, this has to be one of my favorite Bowser plush designs for some reason. But I don't really know why it's one of my favorite, and in my opinion, it just overall looks really good. It was also pretty unique as well. It's one of the only Bowser plushes that actually have a new unique feature to it because, well, this one's actually holding a flag for Mario Party. There's also only one of two Bowser plushes that was made for a Mario Party set, and in my opinion, this one's a lot more unique because it's actually holding a flag from the game, and this one's actually just looks a lot better in my opinion. As well, I think they did a great job designing the colors on this plush and making it overall look very good. As well, there's a lot of details that could get damaged, but if they're in mint condition, they overall look really nice. As well, the eyes are made out of a plastic material, so they could get scratched, and the flag on this plush is made out of a felt material, so that could easily get bent and damaged. And well, a lot of the times when you see this plush, the flag actually will be bent and damaged, so if you do get this plush, I would recommend taking very good care of that, as well, because it can get very, very easily damaged. But yeah, besides that, there's no really other details that could get damaged besides like the eyebrows and teeth, but those would actually have to be kind of purposely damaged. So if you actually take good care of this plush, they can't really get damaged at all. And well, moving on to one of the strangest Bowser plushes that were ever made, being the Play-by-Play Bowser. Now, this one was an arcade prize exclusively in Spain and other European countries, so yeah, that's why there's a lot of them that look different. As well, these plushes had very bad quality control, so some could look really good and others could look terrible. They also came in tons of different sizes, so yeah, you could see here in pictures, you could see some really big versions and some very small versions. I honestly think that the bigger versions look a lot better as well. They had a lot more time to put details on them. And well, since the plush is bigger, they actually could take a lot more time to make the details stand out more and make them a little bigger so they look nicer. As well, the smaller versions of the plush overall look really weird as well because they had to squeeze a lot of small details into a really small space. But yeah, one thing that really confuses me on this plush is that for some reason the cuffs don't go all the way around the arms. As well, you see here that on the bottom of the arms, they don't actually have any cuffs on them and they only go over the front, which is overall just a really strange decision from Play-by-Play to make. And well, the teeth on this plush could overall get very easily damaged as well. They're made out of this very delicate material. And well, the eyebrows and hair are overall very fluffy and they overall look pretty nice. But yeah, honestly, it just kind of matters on which version of this plush you get because you could overall get a very good looking one or a very bad looking one. So if you do want this plush, make sure to look at the ones that you're buying because, well, they could overall look really strange sometimes. And well, moving on to probably the most popular Bowser plush ever made, we have the Mario Party 5 Bowser. Now, this one's probably the most iconic and most well-known Bowser plush basically made by any company. So this one obviously costs a lot of money. It's overall pretty hard to get. But yeah, overall, this Bowser plush is overall really nice in terms of just details. As well, there's no really details that are missing from this Bowser plush and it overall looks really good. As well, the face has every detail necessary. The only really strange part about it is that it's looking straight up, which is one thing I never really understood about this plush because, well, it's just kind of looking straight up into nothing instead of looking straight like other Bowser plushes. But yeah, the proportions on this plush overall look really good, and well, the cuffs on the arms could get damaged over the years because, well, they're made out of felt material and they could also get unstitched from the arms. And one of the details that can most easily get damaged is that on the shell, the spikes can get very easily understuffed. The reason for this is, well, the stuffing could get stuck into the plush, and well, they could kind of never be restuffed as well, but it's very hard to get them restuffed. As well, you'll have to push the plush material back onto the spikes, so yeah, it would be overall very hard to repair that detail. But yeah, overall, I kind of see why this Bowser plush is very popular and still wanted by a lot of people as well. Not only is it just a very popular plush, it also looks really nice. But if you do want this plush, you'll have to pay multiple hundreds of dollars for it in mint condition, and even in bad condition, you'll still probably have to pay a ton of money for it. Moving on, we have the Goldie Bowser plush. Now, this Bowser plush overall looks very similar to modern Sine Bowser plushes, except this one's just a little weirder looking. As well, the face isn't correctly shaped as well as the other Bowser plushes, so yeah, it overall looks pretty strange as it seems to be a little too skinny. But besides that, I do really like the embroidery on the eyes on this plush as well. They obviously put a lot of detail and effort into making them. The cuffs on this plush are overall very high quality, and they can't really get unstitched from the arms over the years unless if you purposely cut them. Basically every single detail on this plush is game accurate, and they overall look really good. There's basically no details on this plush that could get damaged besides the teeth because they're made out of felt material. But besides that really small detail that could get damaged, there's no really other details that could get damaged, and it's very hard to improve this plush. But overall it looks really nice, and there's really not a lot of details that need to be added. And one plush that actually did make this plush look a lot better is the Sine one. It seems that Sine kind of based their Bowser plush off of this one and just made it overall look a lot nicer. They had made the face have more definition, stuffed it a lot nicer than the original Goldie one, and made it look a bit thicker so it's not as skinny. They also added a lot more embroidery onto this one and made the details stand out a lot more, so yeah, they basically just took the Goldie one and improved it by a lot. There's also a bigger version of this one that comes in a 16-inch size, which is the exact same plush as the normal size, except it's obviously just a lot bigger. This one's actually pretty rare nowadays as well. Not a lot of people bought the 16-inch tall version. But yeah, this Bowser plush is basically perfect, and the only other Bowser plush that improves on this one is the Sine's other Bowser plush. This is the All-Star Bowser plush, and this one's basically just an improvement on the last one. They made the face slightly more accurate and they added a bit more definition to it, but besides that, it's basically the exact same plush. If you compare the two side to side, they basically look the exact same as well. They basically have the exact same details, except the newer one's just slightly improved. And honestly, I think this is probably the most accurate looking Bowser plush we'll ever get, as it's close to perfect. There's no really details besides the teeth that could get damaged, so yeah, this plush probably has to be one of, if not the most accurate Bowser plushes ever made. Basically everything about this Bowser plush is perfect. The newest Bowser plush that was released was exclusively in Super Nintendo World in Japan. This one overall uses a very similar design to the Sine one, except it just uses red instead of orange hair. In my opinion, this one looks slightly worse than the original Sine one, but it still overall looks really good. One strange thing about this plush is that it seems that the shell on the big sizes of this plush are overall too big for the plush. You can see in some pictures that the shell kind of goes over the head in some plushes, so yeah, it overall looks really strange in that case, but besides that, the rest of the plush overall looks great. Since they were exclusively released in Super Nintendo World, they're overall pretty hard to find in both sizes. But yeah, overall, the Bowser plushes have come a long way since the early 1990s to now, and they've obviously improved a lot, and they've had some really cool plushes over the years, and I can't wait to see what the next Bowser plush looks like. I don't know how Sine's going to improve on their next Bowser plush, their current Bowser plush basically looks perfect. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and comment down below what your favorite Bowser plush in this video was, and yeah, have a great day.